even if you're not directly related to duck hunting here in Louisiana, you're just one separation apart from somebody who calls it their life, their passion and pursuit. So the wood duck boxes that we are installing today are a collaborative effort between a show that I created and host called Duck Camp Dinners, and also Delta Waterfowl, specifically the chapters here in Southwest Louisiana.
We typically do a wood duck box project every year through several of our chapters and our state committee, so it made perfect sense. Thought it would be a great idea. We are going to put half of the wood duck boxes that we get on private lands around this area, and then half of them will be on Lacassine National Wildlife Refuge on public land.
Delta puts a lot of effort and money back into the local community. So I do all this stuff, and that gives us a chance to give back to the people that are actually donating in my local area. That's huge. That's what other organizations don't do for us. So that's another reason I'm so dedicated and spend all my time for Delta Waterfowl.
We're a great organization that's boots on the ground. We just got done setting up wood duck boxes here in South Louisiana on Lacassine Refuge, and it's doing projects like that to help with conservation of waterfowl that I just think it separates them from the other organizations.
In my mind, what separates Delta Waterfowl from the rest is, like I mentioned earlier, you know, Delta Waterfowl not only does a lot of good stuff for ducks up in the pothole regions, you know, where the ducks are breeding and you know, hatching, and we do a lot of efforts and a lot of research there. But we also do a lot of work with legislators and trying to have better game laws for duck hunters. And the biggest thing to me is we spend a lot of our time, effort, and money on a local basis. And that's why I'm able to bring in a lot of people into our banquets. They spend money because they understand it. I make sure they understand it. I pass that word along. I share my passion with trying to support my local waterfowl areas. And these people understand that.
People in Louisiana are so willing to give back to waterfowl and conservation efforts because they know how much waterfowl and conservation, being in the outdoors and hunting and fishing, has done for them throughout their life. They obviously want their kids and grandchildren to have the same sort of life in the outdoors as we did or as they did. And so paying it forward by continuing a tradition of conservation in their state, on their own private land, on public refuges, and however they decide to do it is important because it continues, you know, the legacy of what they had growing up here in South Louisiana.
I think the reason that the folks down here are so big into giving back to waterfowl through Delta Waterfowl is because they've seen the decline in our area. Louisiana has, for multiple reasons, Louisiana's seen a decline in ducks over the last 20 years. So we all want the glory days to come back. And the only way to do that is to support organizations like Delta Waterfowl.
Part of Delta is preserving the Louisiana lifestyle. It's such a big part of our culture, and it has been for a very long time. And we all feel that it's very important. And the neat thing about Delta, specifically for me, for the state committee, is we are all gathering in the name of conservation and have that common bond, which is waterfowl. And I just, want to be a small piece in the big puzzle of carrying on that lifestyle for my kids and for future generations.